Sunny Florida. Jealous. Whereabouts? What's going on? Long time since I've done one of these, so figured I'd hop on while I'm cleaning the shop. Naples, very nice. That's on the that's the West Coast, correct? South of Tampa. London, England. What time is it over there? Two 2:47 in the morning. As far south as you can go on the West Coast. Right on. Yeah, I was just in Florida over the winter for a little vacation. I was on the East Coast though. AM. Jeez. I'm trying to figure out how this live chat works. It keeps disappearing. There we go. North Carolina, right on. Been there a couple times. What's everyone up to besides watching me? Wrenching on anything fun? Oh, face is dirty. Jeez. Yeah. You guys probably saw the video of this today. And it's torn apart. I did the right thing and I tore it all apart. Here, let me flip you around. Yeah, so the Fairlane went under the knife. Look how nice and clean that is. '58 Ford Custom 300. Nice. I'm sorry for bringing back some old memories. But as you can see, we're missing something. We're missing something on this side. So if you watched the white Fairlane video, you would have noticed that I didn't take it for a drive, and that was because the strut rod brace, which is this guy here, was completely rotted, like literally not even attached to the frame rail. So that's why I didn't drive the white car. But for this car, it wasn't as bad. Like you could still drive it, but it was getting bad. Here, I'll show you. So that's that. Nope, no, it's still the factory suspension. But I just took the strut rod brace out because it was rotted really heavily. And then I made a new one, which I'll go show you. Actually, I'll bring this with me for comparison's sake. Yeah, no, we got too many. I can't say it because you just said there's no such thing as too many projects. But, I mean, at a certain point in time, there is. So, yeah, so this is the new strut rod brace that I created. And that's the old one. So we'll flip her around to kind of show you everything. But made it look exactly like the factory one, even in terms of the cutouts. All the angles are correct. I grafted in this panel here. So this panel was originally in this panel. But because it had the dimple die, which I don't have, I had to graft it in. So as you can see there, all the factory style holes, which you see here, got transferred over. And then I had to kind of figure out what the game plan was here because it was completely gone. So going back and forth on the car, off the car, on the car, off the car. This was the template. And I still got to create one last piece to tie this in. The reason I haven't done that yet is because I want to put it on the car and figure out the whole cross member, rad support. So if you noticed, I'm also missing part of the rad support, which is here. As you can see on this side, it's still there, but I cut out this whole portion. And then I also cut out the lower frame rail, as you can see there, which is now going to be this piece. So that's the lower part. That's the part that goes up inside the frame rail, which is all weld through primer. These are all TIG welded nuts and washer for reinforcement. So that's actually your sway bar mount, where the sway bar bolts to. And then that last piece, which I was just showing over there, is what goes basically, I guess, underneath that, and then ties into the radiator support, which is these two panels here. Somewhere here. There we go. So yeah, slowly but surely piecing it together. A little puzzle. And then the battery tray, which is somewhere over here. Right here. Thank you, thank you. So this is the battery tray, or sorry, fender apron. It's hard to do it with one hand, but it is cut and fit, so it's all butt welded. And all the lips for the spot welds, which I'll replicate. So that'll be that. Once that's all done, then I can slide the bumper back in because I had to metal finish this panel right here. So let me get on my back here. There's two panels here that I created. One being this one, and the second one is this little piece here. That was all rotted, heavily pitted or rotted at the bottom. So I recreated those two pieces, had to pull the bumper out so I can metal finish this properly and nicely. So once that's all done, then I'll slide the bumper back in and put it back together. But that's what the factory side looks like. And this is that's all solid. The only reason this side rotted is because of the battery tray. And honestly, it's a terrible design in terms of getting water trapped in there and everything. So I might drill a hole in a couple of spots so that if water does get back inside there, it has somewhere to drain. But one thing at a time. Had to recreate a rad core support on a 58. And rad leaked and rotted it completely. I feel the pain. Yeah, it is what it is. I mean, they're 60-year-old cars almost. So yours is over 60, but you're not building a frame from scratch like Cam Racing. I hope. No. I'm not going as far as Kale. Kale's gone over the deep end, but I dig everything he's doing, and I keep in touch with him quite a bit. So. He's doing it right. He's doing it the way he wants it, and I always dig the custom stuff. So, thank you, Scott. I appreciate it. Is there feedback coming from my hand and where it's positioned? I know when I do Instagram stuff, this phone's pretty bad for feedback. But yeah, once the Fairlane's done and kind of put back together, I don't even know what I should say is done, but I mean, once the suspension's all back together, which is all painted, so I cleaned that all up nice. So if you saw the video today, you would have noticed that was completely covered in whatever 60 years worth of dirt and grease. So that's all clean now. Lower control arm's clean. I got new strut rod bushings. Everything's painted. The other stuff's on the other side there. But once all the suspension's back put together and the car's running and driving once again with the four-wheel disc brakes, then I'll hop onto the 69 Firebird. We got some pretty big plans for that, which I'm kind of keeping hush-hush for now, but that'll be exciting because I've been wanting to get this car done and driving for almost, I guess, close to 2 years now. But one thing's always led to another, and it's always got pushed aside. But the Fairlane first, then the Firebird, and then you guys always know about the Mustang and stuff, so. Yeah, the whole no drains is definitely a horrible design. But I mean, there's lots of Ford designs. I mean, there's terrible Mopar designs and there's terrible Chev designs as well, but they all have them, unfortunately. Chicagoland. Grease is a great rust prevention. Yes, it is. Yeah, so the old 65, you guys know all about this if you've been following the channel for a long time. Just sitting here, hibernating. Waiting for the warm weather. Got a few other toys in here as well. So that this coupe here, the whole game plan for this car is to be like a sister car to the Fastback. So this is patina, and then this one's a patina, but this one's a coupe, and that one's the Fastback. So it'll be kind of cool. This car is actually really interesting from the factory. It's this blue here. I don't know if you can see it. It's kind of like a steel blue with factory red interior. So, I mean, I've never seen a blue with red interior car before, but I think it'd be pretty cool. Thanks, Scott. Yeah, the Firebird's a cool car. Actually, I have a Muncie for it right here. I don't know why this chat keeps disappearing. It's kind of annoying. But yeah, so this Muncie here was a pain in the butt. But it's all rebuilt now, and it's actually for the Firebird. So it's kind of a pieced together transmission. So it's like an old style M20 case with a later style 32 spline, I think it is, output shaft. It's been modified, so it's got the larger pin. So it's kind of like a mix of all M20, M21, M22 all put together. But yeah, Hurst shifter for the 69 Firebird with brand new Hurst rods. And I mean, everything brand new. We got brand new throwout bearing. I got the whole clutch over here. Sorry for the mess. Didn't clean up before this, but brand new clutch and flywheel for it. There's part of the brakes for the Fairlane. A little sneak peek. But brand new synchros, bearings, seals, you name it, for a rebuild kit, it's got it. So that should be fun for the car. And I think some of you may have know about this, but it's been a long-term project. Japan, holy. Dan, what time's it there in Japan? So yeah, this is a long-term project. Started it years ago. And it's kind of got shelved on and off constantly. I was working on it last year and then I got off of it. But what started off as a simple radiator support. So basically, the guy hit a tree. So the whole radiator support, the lower frame portion of the rad support was all damaged. I think it tweaked this frame rail, which we pushed back out. And then we started poking and doing other things. The car was painted, nice yellow everywhere. Everything was yellow. And we started poking and seeing stuff that we didn't like. So we took it right down and started doing everything the right way. Full floors, brand new torque boxes, inner rockers on both sides. This side got the middle piece of the rocker as well. Toe boards all patched in, with like all butt welded in, full floors, and everything spot welded like the factory. As you can see here, and we got all the factory style like seam welds, same concept. And then again, one thing led to another, and then we started taking quarters off and the whole wheel wells. Oops, sorry. And then taillight panel, and then trunk floors. So it escalated. Like the quarters that were on it, they patched. They did the typical like quick patch around the wheel well and just smashed in the whole quarter and filled it with like 3/8 to half an inch worth of Bondo. So that's not how we do it. So then I started fitting up the whole front fenders and setting gaps and figuring things out, and then got on to other things like running driving cars, which are a little more enjoyable. So, but yeah, like brand new torque boxes, everything was stripped down here and painted. Frame rail extensions, undercarriage supports, literally everything you can think of under the car has been replaced. All right, let's read some of these because I'm a little behind. Dan, 12:05 p.m. Okay, so noon. Penetang in the Great White North of Ontario. Yes, the snow is still coming down off and on. Those wells look great. Thank you, Brian. Patrick, love the Firebird, my fave. Yeah, it's I mean, as a Ford guy, we love everything, but as a Ford guy at heart, the F bodies, the 69 F bodies, even the 67 to 68 F bodies are really nice. So, and they drive really, really well compared to other cars. So, you gotta love them. You gotta love them. What else is everybody doing? Worked on a 68, had to replace the entire passenger side. It was sideswiped, and instead of fixing it right, they had almost 4 inches of Bondo in spots. I mean, that's an art in itself if you think about it. They're very good at sculpting, obviously, because they must have had that eye for sculpting. That's the cave and pave repair. Cave and pave. I love it. I don't love it, but I like the way it sounds. But yeah, I just started a list for a power tour, so a bunch of stuff I got to get done. Here's the other side of the suspension all cleaned up and painted. Hey, there's the springs. So as a joke, we decided to put the torch to the springs in order to see, knowing I'm not keeping these, just to see how low of a ride height we could go with. And as you can see, when you take them out, that's what they look like. I don't know why I'm filming in the upright position. I feel like I'm on Instagram. I had an 88 Firebird. I missed that car. Right on. Rebuilding a 2007 two-door coupe Mustang, Kansas, USA. Right on. So what are you doing to it? Yeah, the springs, mint. See, I started cleaning up and then I got distracted and started talking to you guys. That's all right. Yeah, pretty happy with that. Turned out pretty nice. Still got to drill the holes and put the nuts on the backside. So this is how this works, which is kind of odd or different compared to a Mustang. Is that's what bolts to this, like so. And then your strut rod goes through that. So a Mustang is kind of like built into the support, as you can see here. So that's the strut rod support, and then the strut rod actually goes into that just through bent sheet metal. But this one's got this little cast bracket, which is odd in my opinion. Cast bracket. So yeah, still gotta drill holes, figure out where that's going to be located. As you can kind of see the template there, where it needs to be. Took all my measurements, did all that stuff. So got to drill the holes, and then I got nuts for the backside that are going to get welded. And then that's it. Does everybody else have a 63 and a half Galaxy roof in their garage on the roof or ceiling? Complete resto, same thing. Bondo everywhere. On a 2007, was it like a accident car? I love the 70 Firebird formulas and the split bumper 70 Camaros. Big fan of Fords. Yeah, the 70 Firebirds are they got that spot that I don't know. I just want one. I know a couple of people I know a couple local people actually that have, I think it's a 70 or 71. And every time I see it, it's just like beauty. Do you need body parts? You need body parts or do I? Working on my 86 Cadillac Coupe de Ville. Right on. Sweet car, Patrick. Yep. No, but a couple weeks ago I had to sell a 63 Fairlane. Okay, salvage title. Right on. So 63, that's got the little wing at the back. Yeah, that's a nice car. I always like those. So with the salvage title, how does that work in I would assume you're in the States? Kansas, right? I think you said. Yeah, Kansas. How's that work? Can you guys like drive them with a salvage title? Or is it like branded and then there's other insurance issues and stuff like that? I don't know how it works. Yeah, it's a winter wonderland out there. Weesh, it's cold. No thanks. Yeah, sorry for the mess. I've just been really busy working on all the sheet metal lately. So, a little sneak peek of what you're gonna see next in the Fairlane episodes. Kind of escalated a little bit from just doing brake repairs. I think I broke my phone. Somebody say something so the live chat pops up. See, Canadian, but like I feel like I'm American at heart. Okay. Must be inspected. Yeah, it was a 4-door with the 289. Right on. Hey, I mean, I dig 4-doors. I can get with a 4-door. I've always wanted a wagon, so I mean, there's no getting around the 4-door side of things. I don't, well, unless you're like the Chevs. I think there's Chevys that are 2-doors, like the delivery stuff. So it must be inspected by like a licensed body shop or like a insurance place. How does that work? I've been trying to buy a '68 Bronco, original 289 here in NH. What is that? Uh, the guy's stuck at 22 and it doesn't even run. The new model really amped up the used market. I mean, the Broncos were pretty hot before even the new one came out. Um, like I know a couple of people up here that have them, and like the old ones, and they were big money before it came out. Now it's obviously even more crazy. How big is the shop? The shop's about 60 by 30, I think it is. There's a like a inside the house portion. There's a bathroom there, which kind of ruined the garage a little bit. It would have been like an open 60 that way by 30 complete, and would have been really nice. But we built the house, or Dad built the house, and yeah, we ended up going with a bathroom there for some reason. Oh, people are talking a lot now. I gotta catch up. It means if the car is written off by the insurance company, it cannot be driven unless it's rebuilt. Then they have to inspect it and issue a rebuild title. Okay, cool. It was 68 degrees yesterday in Maryland. Yeah, just stabbed the knife in my back. Yeah, I think it was 14 degrees Celsius or Fahrenheit, sorry, for you guys. So I'm not sure what that was in Celsius, but it was damn cold. Welcome to America. I wish I was. I wish I was in the States right now, but I mean, I just got back from California 2 weeks ago now, maybe a little longer. It's at my buddy's place, Bryce. So if you guys want to see some Mopar content, he's got a 71 Challenger and a 70 Coronet that he Hemi swapped in the Coronet with a 6-speed from like a T56 Viper. Um, really cool car. We went on power tour together. So yeah, I just got back from Cali, and he was nice enough to uh, have me over, and we drove everywhere basically together and checked everything out, and went to MPMC, which is like a SEMA media trade conference. So that was pretty fun, and then went like from basically LA up the coast all the way to San Fran, and saw San Fran, and then shot back over to where he is in Auburn, which was a great freaking time. And then we may have found a car, so stay tuned. Friend of mine is still messing around with his 56 Cadillac Coupe. Thing is monstrous. Almost ready to buy that big block Chevy crate motor. I think it's the 572. He's looking to get 850 to 900 horse. Yeah, that thing's a beast. I saw it at SEMA. I think it was 632 or something. Wasn't it 632? Some crazy cubic inch. Depends on the state. Washington, you can have it inspected, and you can get a title inspect by state patrol. I like 2 doors, but prefer the 4 doors with the family, so less climbing over seats. Totally understand that. Uh, Hello, Chevy guy. Sorry, there's not a lot of Chevys on this side. There's a Pontiac on the other side, which I don't know if you saw, but I'll scoot back over there if you want to see it. 4-door wagons, especially the 70s and older. To be honest, I would love to have a 63 Galaxy wagon. That if I had a wagon any year, it'd probably be a 63 Galaxy. Yeah, I thought it was New Hampshire, but I just didn't want to make myself look like a fool and say something stupid. Kansas Highway Patrol takes it in their shop and gives it a good going over for safety. Caddy made a lot less coupes than sedans. Yes, they did. Bryce! Speak of the devil. There's Bryce. Everybody go check his channel out. Give him a like and subscribe. What major Canadian city are you near? Toronto. My caddy was bought new in '86 by my father-in-law. Down here in Niagara. And big fan of your channel, Mike. I've had my fair share of old irons, so I appreciate what you and your dad do. Thank you. Much appreciated. And not too far. Nice and close, actually. I was just actually planning on going to Niagara the other day with my buddy, but didn't end up going. Crazy dodges there, Bryce. There you go. Some subscribers. I can't speak tonight. Holy sweet collection of cars you got there. Much appreciate it. This is a few of the projects. There is more, but these are the ones we're currently working on. Got any 68 Chargers? We do not have a 68. We have a 70 500. It's not here though. It's at a different storage area. I'd give my left one for a solid 69 Vista Cruiser. To be honest, lately I've seen a lot of Vista Cruisers. I don't know if it was a 69, but I've seen a lot of them locally on what we call Kijiji. I don't know if you guys have. It's like your Craigslist in the States. You need that kind of horsepower to move around the monstrous caddy around for sure. He had stripped it to send for media blast, and it still weighed over 3,000 pounds. Holy crap. If you could have your dream car, what would it be? Ooh, that's the next good question. Is Rush your favorite band? You're damn right they are. If you could have your dream car, what would it be? The dream car, 69 Boss 429. Raven black, black interior. The way it's got to be. Black on black. The big old 429. I was just about to say 426. Got thinking of Chargers. 429. Ugh, just perfection. You have to park the Chevys in the gravel just to keep the oil stains off the nice concrete. Yeah, the concrete's got its fair share of oil and rust and other stains now. Unfortunately, the black Fairlane that you saw in the white Fairlane video was sitting right here outside. And what happened was, again with the whole passenger side strut rod assembly. It was not rotted, but like there was debris in there, like little rust flakes. So it was sitting here without a hood on, and it started raining and it filled up that trough. And then I washed it out so it would drain, and then it just stained the hell out of the driveway. So there's a nice like rust pool just sitting on top of the concrete, which I absolutely hate staring at. One of my bucket list cars is a 57 Country Squire. Very nice. Hello from Alabama. Got a Fox body, but had a 64 Comet. My dad has had it now. Seen the Fastback on Power Tour this year. Would love to have an old Mustang. Enjoy the channel. I appreciate it. Is that the Fox in your profile? Looks pretty nice. It's got the Cobra kit. Solid choice. Mine would be a 50 Merc with chopped top like the one in the movie Cobra. Been looking at this white horse near me. Don't spill the beans there, Bryce. 429 is a rare one. Yeah, but I mean, you asked for my dream car, and that's the one. Ford made the real Hemi. Don't let Bryce hear that. He might get mad. First saw Rush on the 2112 tour, showing my age. What year would that have been? I think I saw them. I think I've been to 3 or 4 concerts before, unfortunately, Neil passed. So driveway has nice patina look already. It certainly does. It's showing its colors now. It's got a little bit of rust and little sun faded and oil stains and stuff like that. So yeah, definitely. Did the Boss have a SCJ or CJ 429? So the 69, so 6970 were a specialty engine. So it was initially based off of a 429, but it had huge heads, which were basically Hemi heads and magnesium valve covers and all this other stuff. So technically not, I guess, a Boss SCJ or CJ. That was the only 2 years that that Boss 429 engine was available. And then once it went to 71, then they went to the 429. Right? I think they had the Boss 51, 429 CJ, and SCJ. One of my dream cars would be a 55 Chevy with a 426 Hemi. That's a that that's an interesting mix. I think a couple of people, excuse me, would get mad at that, but I would dig it. I dig it. My first Rush show was 1979 Hemispheres. I've seen them over 12 times. That's awesome. Honestly, it's a shame about just like the whole music industry and probably never going to be a band or any bands that are classic rock like that these days, but that's why we have music and that's why we get to listen to them constantly no matter what time of the year that it is or what year it is, I guess, not time of the year. Another one is a 68 Mustang Fastback 390 FE 4-speed with a 9-inch. Had the chance to buy one in the spring of 73, but the guy would not move on the price. It was $150 more than I had to spend. Can I ask you what the price was back then? Old enough to have seen Rush play hockey rinks in the 1970s. Right on. Hemi swap the world. I have a 429 in my 72 Grand Torino Squire. Not anywhere near a Boss though. Yeah, that's I love the 72. 72 wagon? Wagon, right? Yeah, Torino Squire. Is that a wagon? Yeah, you got some badass cars. We were just talking. I was 18 in 1973. $850. Oh my god, you can't even buy a can't buy anything these days with $800, it seems. uh, got a buddy putting a 460 and a 55 Chevy. There we go. Getting some Fords going in the Chevs. Changing things up. Isn't Mike's Finnegan? Yeah, that's right. He's got a Hemi in it. That's true. Another solid choice would be a Ford Torino. Sorry, would be a Torino Cobra 1970 with a 429 CJ. Is your dad going on power tour? The plan is, yeah. Speak of the old man there. He just told me the pie and coffee is ready. Yes, dad's plans on going on power tour this year, so we're planning on taking 2 cars, possibly 3. I don't know. Depends on if Bryce Meister flies in and out of Toronto. We might take 3 cars. Back to the Torino Cobra. We have a 71 Torino Cobra, but it doesn't have a 429 CJ. It's got a 351 Cleveland and a 4-gear with a shaker. Factory grabber green car. Would you consider going Coyote in any of your Ford projects? For my money, nothing sounds more nasty than an engine rolling above $6,000. I've thought about it, and you can get them relatively cheap nowadays. I don't know. I probably would. I just gotta find the right car because I don't want to cut these cars up. Like these, you have to take the shock towers out. To be honest, if I wasn't so far into this car, I don't know, maybe I would chop the shock towers out and put something in this and have a nice driver. But no, I definitely would. Probably going to be doing a 7.3 before I do a Coyote, though. 82 Chevy Caprice Classic Station Wagon with sticker wood trim. Love it. Been listening to Rush since their first album. Hemi in a 55 Chevy is a real gasser. Yeah, I grew up. Well, I mean, dad listened to Rush as I was growing up, and grew up listening to Rush, and I mean all the classic rock. So they're definitely they're definitely my favorite band. But I love it all. To be honest, I love all music now. I've learned to appreciate other music, and my eyes have opened in that manner. But I was on my way home, really angry, and bought a '67 Beaumont 396 4-speed. I ended up rebuilding that piece of from bumper to bumper. Oh man. I mean, it's still cool. Still big block and a 4 gear, but yeah, this was the 67 you mentioned. It's 68. The 68 would have been cherry. Dude, I'd honestly Coyote swap Kermit and just wreck the internet. I think someone else already mentioned about Coyote swapping something, right? I like the Mustang on the lift. That one there? Yeah, it's all right. The Clevelands are tough motors. They certainly are. For what are they? The 4-barrel heads, quench heads, and yeah, the ports on those are ridiculous. Loving these crazy Fords you guys are bringing up. What do you plan on taking on Power Tour? So, a couple of plans. Number one is get the Fairlane done. Have that going for Power Tour. So have that running and driving. We have the Comet. We got the Fastback. We have my blue 66 Coupe. And then whatever other car that honestly will do the trip. So definitely the 64 Fairlane, and then the Fastback or the Comet or whatever we decide. What are you planning on taking a Power Tour? They still making you guys take Prick of Death to cross the border? No, they stopped that crap. Flying, they still have it, but that's because it's the states forcing it. It's so stupid. I don't even want to talk about it. It's just, yeah. You can see what side I'm on. Gonna put a 350 on Cleveland in my 65 Mustang, put a K member in it. Yeah, I was gonna say that's probably not gonna fit. It's a little tight. Yeah, I have a Windsor 350 on Windsor in my 66 Coupe, the blue car. And the headers have like that much clearance between them and the shock tower. Actually, I had to dimple the passenger side shock tower. Hoping to make it on Hot Rod Power Tour this year in my 65 Ford F100 with the 352 FE completely rebuilt. I hope to see you out there. That's a cool truck. Is it long box, short box? Probably why I don't like Chevys. Yeah, because you restored it and had to go through the troubles of it's just when people get into restorations, I don't think they understand the whole task of like restoring everything. Like what I'm doing here is like I'm leaving the body and paint and just fixing what I need to and driving it as is, and that's more enjoyable to me because I don't have to worry about scratching paint and all that other stuff. Like even the Firebird, it's got nothing special in terms of paint. It's got a little bit of quarter rust here, but I mean, I don't plan on fixing it and painting it. So I just like driving them. I don't like having to worry about like Dad restored his Fastback or his Mach 1, and every time that we do drive it, um there's like the nerves and the gripping the steering wheel, like worried about where you're gonna park it, and then it's like I hop in this thing with my dirty boots, and I absolutely don't care. It's just hop in, like put steel on it, literally just hop in and take her for a cruise. The steel is not on the paint. Not that I'm worried about scratching paint, but just in case anyone's wondering. Could you buy a 69 or 70 Shelby Mustang with a Boss 302 or Boss 429? No, you cannot. So the 69, 70, they had the lowest was a 351 Windsor. 69s were 70s were rollovers of 69s, just with the black stripes on the hood. And then you could get the 428 Cobra Jet and 428 Super Cobra Jets and drag packs and yada, yada, yada. But we are losing so many great musicians. Yes, we are. But back to the Shelby, no. So the Boss 302 is only like a standard model Mustang, like not a Shelby. And then the Boss 429 was, again, it's like a Ford thing only. I had a 93 Fox body. That was a fun car. Yeah, they are fun. I've always wanted a Fox body. Really started when we went on Power Tour in 2017. And Luke had his Rotstang there. And just seeing that thing rip around the autocross track and just him beating on the car, it really sparked the, I want to get like a beater Fox body and just build it and have fun with it. Only Chevy I ever wanted as a C5 vet. There's a C4 outside if you want it. It's covered in snow. There's a C4 vet under there. That's our summer car. Just the beater, as we call it. I'm a Mopar guy, but I like the 390 FEs. What do you think of FEs? FEs, you know what that stands for? It stands for effing expensive is what it stands for. But there's one right here. So that's a rebuilt 69 Super Cobra Jet engine. So they're all, I mean, FE's family. But yeah, that's for one of our cars. That's going to go in one of the cars. What do I think of them? They're good. I mean, they're expensive to build, and I just think you can get what you want out of a small block and not have to worry about, I guess, I don't want to say older technology, because there are people that are building FEs pretty killer. But I just feel like a small block is more, what's the word? More usable and just easier to build and more parts, and probably would be cheaper to build anyways. So they're good. I mean, I wouldn't turn down, like, we have big block cars. We have two 390 Cougars. One I just picked up, a 69 390 GT Cougar, and a 67 GT. And then we have the Super Cobra Jet cars as well. So yeah, I mean, they're fun. I don't know what to say. I love them all, but I just love the high revving small blocks too. Long box, right on. Nice. Patina restored it, or I think you said, was the engine restored, or everything was restored? How far are you from Orangeville? Not far at all, actually. Probably 45 minutes. No, not even. 30. Depends on where in Orangeville. Is your dad going with you on Power Tour? Seems like you two have a good relationship. Yep. Yeah, he's he he had a little bit of trouble keeping up with the young guns last year in the Comet, but that was also because there was like a crap ton of weight on the back of the car, so the car was like really sagging in the ass end, which kind of screwed up the alignment. And then I also didn't adjust the shocks, the QA1 shocks properly, which I did after Power Tour. Again, my fault. So he was having a little bit of like red knuckling when we were clipping in the back roads, but like this thing we were doing 90 in the back roads and just having a blast. But yeah, he's definitely coming, or he definitely wants to come. Whether he comes or not, that's his choice. My dad had a '69 Firebird 400. Okay, very cool. We sold we had a '69 Firebird 400, blown engine that we bought, and then we rebuilt the engine. There's a whole video on it. Rebuilt the engine on that and ended up selling it to a good friend of ours. So I like the patina look. Shiny paint scares me. Yeah, I mean, just being able to, it just doesn't bother me. Like, it's just, who cares? Like, I don't have to wash it. Like, there's fingerprints on here from like 2019 prepping it for Power Tour. Like, it is what it is. It's just cool. If I ever get a Chevy, it's going to be a Citation, so I can complain about it the whole time. Fixing an old caddy as close to perpetual motion there is. Oh, is as close to perpetual motion as there is. Yeah, we had a 94 or 93 caddy, sedan DeVille. Or no, coupe DeVille? No, sedan DeVille. And yeah, it's just constantly needing stuff. So my first car was a '65 Fastback 289. Great car. Here she is. That's what it is. 65. It's got a 66 grill. I know people bother me about it all the time. Look at the VIN. It's got a 5, the first digit. What year Mustang would you recommend to get? I mean, it depends. The cheapest ones right now are 71 to 73, but like the coupe versions, I wouldn't recommend that because oh, I remember the Chevy guy. Yes, from Orangeville Car Show. Yes, how's it going? But back to the Mustang. 71 to 73 is probably the cheapest in terms of like a coupe or convertible, but they don't claim like good money. So like in terms of you really have to love the car to put money into it. Now fastback, different story. But like I don't know, you gotta love the car, right? Like I love the fastbacks, I love the coupes, I love like all first gen from 65 to 70. I like 71s, 73s, 71 to 73. But like you have to look at the car and say to yourself, like, what model do I like? Do I like a coupe? Do I like a convertible? Do I like a fastback? And then go through the years and see which one you prefer. And then obviously orient that to your budget and then go from there. But I mean, everyone's looking for a fastback. The coupes you can find still relatively cheap depending on how mechanically inclined you are. Like this one we bought as a shell and I put it back together in like a week. I was planning on taking this and that car and the Comet when we were working on the Comet. So that would have been 2021 Power Tour, which I couldn't end up going because of the border. But nonetheless, I was planning on taking that and the Comet. So I like was quickly rushing to get this done. And then when I found out I wasn't going, then it's just like stale. So, I'm over in Hamilton, just saved a 66 Mercury Montclair from getting junked. Hadn't run in 6 years, got the 390 fired right up. Funny story is my dad's dad actually owned a 66 Mercury. Is the Montclair the one with the funky roof? He had a Meteor, 66 Meteor. And dad's always wanted to get one of those cars, but they're hard to find. I got a 65 Mustang built in 64, but it's 289 coupe pony edition interior. Yeah, I mean like 65s were still built in 64, but if it wasn't considered a 64 and a half unless it was built in that early stage. And I mean, you'd have a generator. I mean, some of the early, I think we had an early, not as early, like we had a 64.5, but I think this one was pretty early in terms of the VIN. No, that wasn't this one. This one's 50,000. But yeah, like we had a 64.5 that was a factory 260 car, so it had the generator, which is what this is, right? It had the generator and all the little different bits of interiors and the different grill, like the fins here. Whoops. Had the different fins on the radiator support. But they're the same thing. I don't know why people get so uptight about them. In the late 70s, a friend of mine shoehorned a 289 into a Pinto. Too much engine for the brake system. He was constantly running red lights. That's funny. That's funny. Yeah, it's a tiny little car for a 289. Like, I mean, a 289 feels pretty fast in one of these cars, and I can only imagine what it's like in a Pinto. I can't fit in a C4. I'm 6'5", 250 pounds. Okay, fair enough. Is the C5 a bigger chassis, like bigger cabin? I didn't think they were that much bigger than a C4. I would assume the C5 and the C6 are pretty similar. A well-built small block is more bang for the buck, in my opinion. Yeah, absolutely. Definitely. Speaking of older technologies, people are building and ripping flatheads. Yeah. Flatheads, we had one in a 53 truck we had, but we ended up selling that. But I think we have one still here tucked away in the corner. Do we get rid of it? No, we still have it. There's the old flathead. A little single barrel carb and generator and dual water pumps. Dual water intake. That glass bowl fuel pump. Pretty cool. But yeah, they're again, people are, the old stuff's coming back, like all the trends, right? Canadian Tire car show parking lot. I still have the stickers I got from you. Yeah, I can't wait for car show season. I'm itching to drive a car. Your 2.5-inch exhaust sounds awesome, by the way. Thank you. Yeah, no, we did a lot of work to make it kind of tuck up in there and hide. But made the tips. Everything's TIG welded. If you watch the Prepping for Power Tour 2022 video, me and my buddy John, we tackled this car in terms of the exhaust. So we tried to tuck up everything as high as we could, which, I mean, it's pretty damn good compared to other stuff. But yeah, tuck the mufflers up pretty nice. Everything was modified. Like, there was nothing that we didn't change. We changed the hangers. I changed the whole back hoop going over the axle pipe. I cut all their welds off and modified that, and made my own tips because I didn't want it going out underneath the valence. I wanted it tucked up. Modified all the pipes going to the headers. What else did we do? Yeah, every single mount that held the exhaust, we brought it right up. But yeah, thank you. I'm super happy with it. Early 2000, a friend of mine was building a 289 without any blowers for drag, 8,000 engine. He says 500 horse, never saw a dyno. Yeah. It's that, like, they can rev, but I don't know if it would have been 500 horse with, like, it depends. It depends if you're talking like aluminum heads or if it was stroked, but you're saying a 289, so I don't know about 500, but who knows? I agree with Bryce. A small block will get the job done. Patina, I put a stage 1 cam in it, bore. Oh, this is the truck, right? I put a stage 1 cam in it, bored 30 over, silver like pistons, reworked crank, 7105 Edelbrock intake, 1905 AVS2 Edelbrock carburetor, and Doug's long tube headers. How do you like the Doug's long tubes? I heard they're pretty decent. 4.9 liters are good engines. I try to get to the car show in Barrie North Canadian Tire parking lot on Sunday evenings as often as I can. It's about a 35-minute drive for me. Saturdays. Okay, I'll have to check that one out. It's not too far from me. I'm always in Beaton area, so yeah, I can pop by that one. Still have the 3 on the tree, right on. For some reason, I like the 67 Mustangs, maybe because they are a 1-year option with the double side vents. Laugh out loud. What do you think of them? I mean, I love. Okay, so here's where I stand. I love the 67 deluxe interior. If it was my car, I like the 68 C notch, like just the clean look. So like very similar to the 65. But that's just me. Like if I had to choose, I'd probably choose that. But I do like the 67 grill is a little more detailed or bulky in a sense. But yeah, the interior is, in my opinion, 67's way better than 68. It's got the breezeway rear window. Yeah, so that's got like the where it kicks back type of roof. First ride was a 68 Mustang notchback, 351 Windsor 4-speed Weber clutch, 411 rear gear. Sadly rolled it, dragging a oh shit. That's unfortunate. That sounds like a pretty stout setup. 411 gears with a 4 gear and a 351 Windsor. Dang. I remember seeing the 64.5 at the New York World's Fair. I was 7 at the time. Holy. I mean, okay, so I look at that. I think about that. Also, your last name is very similar to a friend of mine, Colucci, Nick Colucci. But yeah, like I look back at the times, like when they had those fairs and how everything was just like decked to the nines. Everyone's wearing a suit and tie, checking these cars out at these world fairs and talking about all this technology, and everyone's like so hyped about it. And like the buildings are all like futuristic and just over the top done. And now it's like we don't have any of that. Like there's nothing. It's like, yeah, we have an auto show and whatever, but it's in a boring building. There's nothing going on. They're just showcasing the cars. Like back then, the people cared and like it was so exciting to see the new product. Now it's so bland these days. I got a 62 meter. Sorry guys, I'm way behind here. I think it's a 221 V8 62 meter. Okay. A friend of mine had a 62. Is that with the 3 taillights on each side? C5 has no interior step. Oh, okay. Yeah, like at the rocker. Is that what we're talking about? The rocker? Friend of my brother's had one of those Montclairs back in the late 70s, black on black, called it the Batmobile. Where do you guys get your parts from? Your parts for the Mustangs from? So locally, there's a place. It depends on what we're talking about. If we're talking about like sheet metal, there's a place called Golden Leaf off of Zenway Boulevard that we get our sheet metal from. I mean, we have our fair share of stock as well. But other stuff, I mean, just I sometimes use CJ, Rock Auto, Summit. What do you daily drive? Oh God. Bryce is probably laughing right now if he's still on. I have a beater of a PT Cruiser that I drive. So yeah. Sick. But I mean, in the summertime, I'm driving these cars as much as I can. I also have a Jeep as well that my uncle gave us, so sometimes drive that. You can put a 289 crank rods in a 302 motor and make it a 302 stroker. Fair enough. Beautiful headers, but haven't got the engine back in the truck yet, so don't know how they sound yet. I'm sure they're going to sound phenomenal. If you want to go on power tour, you might need that engine in that truck. I'm about to buy my first car slash first project. 66 Oldsmobile Tornado. I love them. I love that look. The sleek little headlight. I think it's got pop-up headlights. I think was that the first year of front-wheel drive? I think that was like the first American car that had front-wheel drive. I learned to drive stick in my uncle's 58 Ford sedan. He told me reverse in your face. One on the seat, two in the glass, third on the floor. Tough to speed shift at one of those. Yeah, that's up in the tree for sure. So our 53 truck that I was talking about, that had a 3 in the tree. Good old days. I saved a 73 Mach 1 from the junkyard that was left there to die. The floors and subframe are rotten, so I'm going to put it on a 72 Gran Torino frame. Probably going to get some hate for the full frame. Is what it is. It's what you want. You saved a car. You can do what you want with it. I dig it. If people at the World's Fair then only knew, or would only knew what we're doing to these ponies nowadays. The World's Fair was so cool. Hello from Arizona. I am jealous. Jake, I want to be in Arizona. I went once. Yeah, once to Arizona, Tucson, Arizona, and that was to get the 65 Comet. I don't think I ever told the full story on that, so I won't go fully in depth. I think I'm going to make a video on it, but yeah, that was quite the trip. Drove down. Shut up, Bryce. It's a PT Bruiser, all right? Bryce, you get lots of snow up there today? Yeah, lots of snow. Not much. You want to know how much snow Canada got the other day? Like a foot. That's the black cruiser on the driveway in driving portions of the video. You're damn right it is. Yeah, that's the beater. Honestly, the only reason that car is probably still alive is because it's a 5-speed. I'm sure it would have died if it had an automatic already. But yeah, the 5-speed, it's got 330,000 on the clock now. Kilometers, not miles. So I don't know what that is in miles, but for the old PT, 2001 PT, it's doing all right. Yeah, laugh aloud. That might help. Yeah, you might need an engine and transmission and exhaust and a driving truck. But there's lots of time. It's like 110 days away, so not to scare anyone. How's the Barracuda? I have a 65 with a 273. So we ended up selling that car to a guy who's just getting into classic cars. So we got it basically running and driving and just turnkey so he can enjoy it, and whatever he wants to do with it, then he can go down the path of whether he wants to drive it as is or go restore it. But I mean, I dig the car as it was. But 65 with the 273, that's a pretty cool car. Automatic or stick? Hey, Bryce Gold, big fan of your channel too. Looking forward to more Kermit content with Mike. Yeah, that was a fun time working on Kermit. Also, funny video if you haven't checked Bryce's video out with me and him in it. That was a great time. 66 was the first year for front wheel drive, and yes, pop-up headlights. Glad someone else thinks it's a gorgeous car. Honestly, there was one that popped up, I think, not last 2 falls ago, probably. It was like a blue, like a light steel blue, very similar to the coupe over here, what that car was factory. Like a steel blue, and it had like a little bit of patina and like a little bit of rot on the quarter. But damn, the thing was like, I think it was like $1,500, and I wanted to buy it so bad, but we had some other issues, and which you guys will hear about later on in a video, and just didn't have the space for it. But damn, man, I wish I got that car. Yeah, I think they're beautiful cars, and they're very unique. Nothing was really like it at the time with the whole like squared off edge of the wheel well. the wheel well lips. They had that like very defined look to it. We ended up buying a 67 and 68 T-Bird. So it's, I mean, if I had to say, like, yeah, the T-Bird and them are very similar, like in size, but not like look like the what's it called, the uh, brain fart, Tornado is killer. I would buy one tomorrow if one came up. 73 Fahrenheit today in Arizona. There's a slight bit of hate right now, just a little bit. Mike, would it be possible to get a vertical measurement from the trunk floor to the quarter panel right behind the tub seam on 63 Galaxy? Yes, but the car's not here. So the car is actually in storage. I if I go to the car, just send me an email or something so I have your contact. Info at theoldcarchannel.com, or just message me on Instagram. And when I'm up there, I can take a measurement for you. But that's for are they different? But yeah, I would assume they're different between the 63 and the 63 and a half. Do you need the 63 or the fastback or the hardtop? Nice garage and collection. Glad enjoy the videos with you and your dad. Thank you. Thank you. It's I don't know why I feel odd calling other people Michael when I don't like being called Michael. I like being called Mike, but I don't know. Mike or Michael? Thank you, Michael. I've been stuck in Wyoming for 5 days due to the blizzard. Just got moving today. Life of a truck driver. Crazy. How much snow did they get there? My trunk floor was missing when I got it, and the quarter panels were repaired poorly from a shunt sometime in the past. By the way, those 64 Fairlanes are top 5 best looking Fords ever made. I love the side trim. They just nailed it with the whole. I don't know, like everyone calls it different. Like some people call it the Thunderbolt. I call it like it's like a spear, like a sword. Like look at that thing. How cool is that? But yeah, I love the body style. We have 4 of these. This car we've had the longest, which is why I wanted to work on it. Probably the second worst condition one though, in terms of like the rust repair needed and the whole trunk drip edge is all rotted. So I gotta fix that, which I mean, I am technically a welder, so yeah, I gotta fix all that. Who knows if I'll fix it before Power Tour or after Power Tour, but one of these days I will get to it and fix it. 64 Rivy is still the best metal from GM in my opinion. I would have to disagree. I would say the 65 Rivy is the best. 65 with the clamshell headlight, right? With the headlights that are tucked away. That is perfect. Where it's stacked headlights, sorry. Stacked headlights here. No headlights in the grill. Very clean side. It doesn't have the 2 like little scoopy things. And then also like the whole trunk lid, or not trunk lid, but the whole bumper on the 65 Riv is very clean with the whole license plate, whereas the 64, it had some other things going on with the taillights in the taillight panel, whereas the 65 had them in the bumper. It was just like, they just cleaned it up, and it was, it's just a sexy car. Top 3 cars, if I had to choose, maybe, okay, top 4, because top 3 is too hard. Top 4, 69 Mach 1, 65 Riv, any C2 Corvette fastback, and a 69 Camaro. Right there, top 5. Or top 4. And then 5, I don't know, I'd probably throw a Mopar in there. Mike is preferred. I figured as much. I just some people I don't know. Dang, will do. Thanks. Sports roof. Okay. Yeah, so just send me an email or whatever, and whenever I get up there, which I have to go up there sooner than later, I will definitely do it. The original Tornado was a beautiful, elegant car, and that was just ahead of its time. Yeah, it was really cool. Like first all or front wheel drive, like that's so crazy for back in the day. Dude, there's a 66 Tornado that's for sale on this road that's on my way to work. Dude, dude, just buy it, dude. Come on, Bryce, you need another project. We're going to fill your driveway with projects. Automatic in the Barracuda, manual steering, four-wheel manual drum brakes. Love your channel, by the way. I much appreciate it, Jake. Do you have plans on going with like disc or front disc brakes anytime? Or also the manual steering in those cars is something else. I will say it is super light for manual steering, but you got to turn it like 800 times in order to go lock to lock. Like very cool though. Like I love the cars, but I just when I was driving, I'm like, this is so easy, and I'm like, is it power steering? And then I'm like, oh, it's manual, and I'm like, hold on, I gotta turn this a lot more than I normally have to. I want a '64 Fairlane wagon. Dang, yeah, that's a badass car too. You live in the USA. I think I subscribe to your channel. Yes, he's in Auburn, California. 20-foot snow drifts on I-80. Holy. Not sure of snow total, but it would be feet of snow. No, no thanks. See, I thought we were bad with like probably a foot of snow in the past 2 days, but yeah, no, I'll skip on the whole 20 foot of snow drifts. No thanks. I'm back. Sorry, guys. My phone died, so now we're plugged in to the wall. Hopefully, it doesn't die again. But if I disappear, it's because my phone died. I also managed to grab a coffee. So, where were we? Somehow, the live was still running, so I didn't lose any of the chat. Puck draw, Blackhawks and Sharks tonight. Are you a Sharks fan or Blackhawks fan? I'm about to purchase a 70 Torino. Right on. That's a sick car. I've always loved those. I mean, I love the earlier gens, but I loved like the 70 to 71, and then obviously the 72 is just also cool. And then everything after 72, I think, kind of lost. Like 72 is the best of that gen, but I love the 71, 70 to 71. Followed by a bubble top Impala. Also very cool. Northern California. My friend's dad bought his mom a 67 Fairlane Coupe 390 auto off the showroom floor. She drove it very slowly, but it was a blast when my friend and I went out with his dad for a rip. I was 12. See these stories, like, I mean, I guess it'd be like saying, oh yeah, my buddy got a GT Mustang or whatever. My buddy's mom got a GT Mustang and whatever. It's different. I don't know. It's just not the same. 70 Torino GT is a gorgeous car. Yes, it is. I have been watching videos from last year's Power Tour just to stay warm. Yeah, if you've never been on Power Tour, that is one thing I will say is Power Tour is hot. So let me just reposition so you guys aren't staring at a jack. Power Tour is hot, so if you've never been on it before, make sure you have a good cooling system. And if you can, get some AC. Steering is well balanced. I'm old school on the brakes. Also have two 67 Tempest with four-wheel manual drums. Gotcha. 67 Tempest. I love those cars. Basically a GTO. Yeah. Do you like the 65, 66 Fairlane or Galaxies? We had a 60. Sorry, I'm eating pie, or I'm picking pie out of my teeth. Sorry. We had a 65 Fairlane at one time. Not really sure why we bought it. It was black with red interior, and I think it was a small block. But it was rough, like rotted. Ended up selling it to a guy who used it as a parts car, but yeah, no, I like them. They're different. The Fairlanes I like because there's stacked headlights in that year. Or 66 Fairlane at least is stacked headlights, and the Galaxy 65 Galaxy. Those are stacked headlights as well, right? Yep, 65, 66 Galaxy. That's when the 7-liter started coming out. Is the signal still bad? It might be where I am in the shop. Or was it just when my phone died? The problem with the 66 Tornado, hard to find parts for it. And it's going to be tough refurbishing any OEM. Refurbishing OEM at my experience level, pain in the butt. I'm also in NorCal. Okay, good. I just wasn't sure if some people were still having issues. Smogramento. Is it that bad? I didn't think it was that bad, Sacramento. I mean, I enjoyed where Bryce lives. I enjoyed the drive in between San Fran. San Fran's cool just because of all the hills. I wouldn't want to live there. It was cool to visit. But the drive between San Fran and basically Los Angeles, anywhere there, like the countryside, I like the country. I don't know. I need land. I can't be in a residential subdivision. Or sorry, I shouldn't say that. Some land in a residential subdivision's fine, but like I can't be in a side by side subdivision. I forget what those are called. I live in a town of 200 on OR border. Is that like Oregon? Oh no, you were just saying you're the Granada or Tornado. Sorry, Tornado. What's yeah. Sorry, that's right, Oregon border. Yeah, so I mean, I wouldn't call it like country where I live, but we are out of the city. Like the hub is Toronto, which is kind of like your Los Angeles. And then like we're basically an hour outside of the city, so it turns into country land relatively quickly. But it is changing quite a bit, quite fast. What was said here? What do you think of Crown Vics? I would own one. Except Cletus is stealing all of them. Yeah. No, I would definitely drive them. 4.6, pretty bulletproof. Hence why the cops were driving them. Compared to Phoenix area, we are nuts here. In terms of what? What do you mean? Looks like where you live in Canada is nice and open. Phoenix is by like Scottsdale and all that, right? It's pretty much like a hub. Like you guys got like those 3 highways that all kind of like loop together or something. It's got like, I don't know what I'm talking about. compared to Phoenix area, we are nuts here. Too many people. Yeah, I mean, downtown Toronto is stupid. I would never want to live there. Too much traffic. I don't know how people drive every single day in that traffic, like people in LA driving in like LA traffic. No, wouldn't do it. Seen a few videos where we can see part of your car collection. How many cars between you and your dad? Good question. Honestly, stopped counting. We've been selling a few though. We're planning on building a shop. Long story short, there's some issues going on that we're trying to resolve by building a new shop. So, yeah. Um, I don't know what number we're at right now, but it's a lot. I don't know what you guys would consider a lot, but yeah. What do you think of square body Chevys? Square bodies. I dig square bodies, like the '80s. I think it was '80s. When did it start? Late '70s, early '80s. I would have one. I would drive one. I hate driving in Toronto. I avoid it. So do I. I don't go there unless I like desperately have to, or there's something going on there. Like we did a video shoot. So the fastback was actually in a music video. Johnny Orlando or something like that. So it was downtown the shoot, so we ended up having to drive down there. But I mean, it was also kind of cool, like driving a classic car downtown Toronto, like knowing that it's not going to overheat when you're sitting in traffic, and just again a ratty ass car, and people are just staring at you like, what the hell's this guy doing in Toronto? Like everyone's driving a Audi or BMW or Mercedes, and I'm just driving this clapped out 65 fastback through Toronto. I definitely got some looks that night, and then like driving through like the heart of Toronto, like we went out for dinner afterwards, and it was kind of funny. It was kind of funny and fun. The new ones are great platforms for chassis swaps. The older ones are beautiful cars. There's a guy not too far from with owns a 58 Crown Vic. Oh, older style. I thought you meant like he owns 58 Crown Victorias. Yeah, the old school ones with the whole loop over the roof. Beautiful. Glass roof. That's right. Yep. Just watched the green convertible episodes today. Narrow fitting driveway. Yikes. Yeah, so that's basically that's not downtown Toronto, but like that's getting very close to downtown Toronto. And it was definitely fun getting that car out of that garage. Never do an inventory or total receipts. I have a list of the vehicles. I don't total the costs at all. No. Let me yeah, no, I don't total receipts. Who does that? Square body Chevy 73 to 87. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, no, I like them. I think a friend of ours has like a high boy, like a mutter style Chev. It's pretty cool. Only go if I absolutely, yeah, it's like what, like the stress and just idiot drivers, there's no point. Like it's just a pain in the butt. Any plans to team up with other channels? You and your dad seem to make a good team. So yeah, that's the problem. Like up here in Canada, there's not a whole lot of people. Like I know there are a lot of channels, but like that do what we do. Like there's the Boss Garage, but they're like I don't know even necessarily know what you mean by team up. Well, like we may do a video or two with them, but I mean teaming up is Like if you're talking about partnering together on something, I don't know. But yeah, definitely do videos. Like we while we were in California, we wrenched on DeBoss Garage. So DeBoss is where's he located again? Not St. Catharines, but he's off of the water there. I forget the name. I always forget the name of this town. Really nice area, and it's about 2 hours away from me, or just close to an hour and a half, 2 hours. So I've wrenched with them before. We helped with their Duramax C10 build. Very little, but like I was there and helped out a little bit, chilled with them for the day. Um, but yeah, I mean, I would be happy to work with people, get something going. The Firebird, we got some pretty good plans for it, and I mean the Fairlane too is. We got some ideas for it, so might need to team up with other brains to figure things out. Dunville, that's the word. Yes, Dunville. Used to drive to Toronto daily from Barrie, did that for 10 to 15 years, had to be on the 400 by 6 a.m. or you might as well turn around because the traffic would stop at Newmarket. Yeah, Newmarket, so that's Highway 9, so that's pretty close to where we are. Yeah, I mean, it's stupid. Like, I work in like Etobicoke area, and that's about a 45-minute drive for me, and that's enough. Like, luckily the 427's got an extension now, so that kind of takes traffic off of the road I drive on. But I noticed you have a McCool Auto shirt. Yeah, repping Dylan's shirt. How did I meet Dylan? Ooh, that's a good question. So, we talked. So Dylan, so we had like a Instagram group chat, and I forget who started it, but like Kevin Junkyard Diggs, myself. There was a lot of people actually in that group chat. Anyways, we ended up adding Dylan, or I don't know how it worked out, but always kept in touch over the phone, which is kind of like me and Bryce. And then 2019 Power Tour was the first year that I actually met Dylan. So that was the first time we met. 2019 Power Tour. The first day, I get there late because again we just did that whole engine swap in the car in 3 days, and I like red-eyed it to North Carolina. So the show started, let's just say, on a Saturday. I finished the engine swap Friday night at like 9 o'clock and packed my bags and literally started driving to North Carolina. I think I got to like Buffalo area and I had to pull over because I was exhausted. Slept in the car and then started heading down to North Carolina the next day, which is like the starting day of the show. And yeah, we ended up meeting at a hotel parking lot after the show because I got there like just at the last second to register. And I forget where we were going. When I ended up going to like a classic, not Classic Industries, but one of those car sales places. And Dylan rode with me, and it was like just starting to mist a little bit. I didn't have wiper blades, and this is literally the first time that me and Dylan met each other. So he rode with me while like Luke and Kevin and all those other guys were driving in. I think it was in Kevin's car, and yeah, just the thought of probably the thoughts going through Dylan's head, like this guy's driving a car he just threw together in like a month. The car just had an engine swap in 3 days, and no wipers, starting to rain. Like probably just feared for his life, never even knowing who I was, or never met me in person, I guess, but knew who I was. But yeah, that's how we met. Everyone have a great weekend and week. Be safe and stay well. Good night. Thank you for tuning in, Brian. Same to you. There's the Pops.
Hello out there, Hollywood.
Rocking the Kiss shirt.
Yes, sir.
Right on.
Best rock and roll band in the world for the show anyway.
Yeah. But
What's going on?
now we're just shooting the shit. Looking to do an automatic to manual swap on my 71 Mach 1 4-speed. What would be the difficulty level?
I'm trying to get out of home renovations and get into the garage so I don't have to wear these boots that are filled with concrete. I'd rather be with grease. You see this crap? That's home renovations for you. I've been
grinding concrete floors.
knee deep for fucking 25 years.
Difficulty level, I wouldn't say it's too difficult. You need to know, like, or just have the parts ready so that when you do plan on performing the swap, it'll be quick. So yeah, Dad's like weekend job, but for someone,
everything ready,
right? For someone that maybe doesn't know, I don't know what did you say your entry level? Or yeah, I don't know what your skill set are, but yeah, having a 4-speed that you know is going to be fine. Like, I thought that Muncie was fine, and then I decided to throw the shifter on it and try to shift through the gears, and turns out one of the synchros was broken, so I had to tear that all apart and rebuild the whole transmission. But yeah, if you know, like, the transmission's good, you have a bell housing, a flywheel, a clutch pedal, Z-bar, all the push rods, throw bearing, a drive shaft. I don't know if the drive shafts interchange, but if you have all the parts and you know how they go together, yeah, it'll be a weekend job, or even like a week at the most. The old thrash and dash routine, laughing. The boss is looking at me funny. Gotta go. Have a good week. Have a good evening. Same to you, Jake. What do you think of Mopars? Love them. Yeah, as Dad says. Yeah, we love everything. We love Fords, Mopars, GMs. We love them all. But yeah, I love
AMC.
Yeah, AMC. But like, we love, obviously, the what we call A-list cars, which are, sorry, I'm just checking my percentage on my hair. Only 1%. That's it. Jeez. A-list cars like Challengers, Cudas, Chargers.
Where does the Gremlin fall?
The Gremlin.
I went to my first Kiss concert in a Gremlin at 12 years old. 6th row.
In a Gremlin. But yeah, I mean, like, we love our Mopars. But I don't know. Like, if you had one choice, what would it be?
One choice of what?
One Mopar. What would the only Mopar be? Like, would you say Challenger, Cuda, Charger?
That's a tough one.
I'm making my own questions here.
That's a tough one. I think I would still have to go with the Charger. Because of its shape more than anything.
Yeah.
And the Challenger has got that same size as your Mustangs and whatnot. So I just rather have the Mustang encompassing it all.
Yeah.
But Charger is on its
own level. Yeah.
The Gen 2.
Yeah. 68 to 70.
But I mean, Challengers and Cudas are fantastic.
Yeah. No hate to those either. Yeah.
Just when you're getting into the
you can manual swap anything, right? Pretty much, yeah. I mean, if the car didn't come with a manual swap, you can make adapters to make things work. But
you got companies who make the pedals and everything.
Yeah. I mean, like,
what was that company down in?
QuickTime is making all bell housings for, like, even I saw QuickTime for a Gen 3 Hemi to adapt to a Muncie transmission. I was like, who would do that? But then I'm like, I mean,
who was it at Cena that had all those different pedal assemblies all set up?
That was Shremic, or was it Modern Driveline?
It was
Modern Driveline. But yeah, yeah, you can manual swap anything. What is your dad's favorite car? It's gonna be the same. Watch. You ready?
It's my Mach 1.
Like, dream car, or like our favorite car, like from our collection? That's a better question. Was your dad a member of the Kiss Army back in the day?
No, I don't think I've ever signed up for it. No.
No?
No. But I bought every magazine. Doesn't matter. It was just the one little picture just to have the magazine in hand. I bought them all.
And the whole blood thing in the red ink or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Kiss comic books was
Kiss
had a vial of real blood dipped into the formula to make the ink.
Yeah. Kiss Constant in a Gremlin is epic. Saw original Kiss lineup in '96, Providence, Rhode Island. The Mopars were badass for looks, but I never liked the tiny sound that they have. What was that?
20 years before that. I was 76 when I went.
You were in 76?
1976.
1976.
Kiss Destroyer
Destroyer.
concert at Maple Leaf Gardens.
Can you guys hear him okay? I'm not sure if the mic's picking it up, but the Mopars are badass for looks, but I never liked the tiny sound they have.
Tiny sound?
Oh, the tinny sound? Like, oh, like tin? Like the sheet metal? I don't know. Or like the exhaust note. I'm not sure. My dad's uncle works or worked for Richard Petty. That's pretty cool. Sheet metal or exhaust? I wasn't sure which the yup is towards. Bryce, you still there? Bryce Cube? Oh, there he is. I think he meant tinny sound, not sheet metal. Yeah. Like the what we call pop can. Yeah. I don't know. Did they have that? I can't stand the way they close, like the doors.
Put snow on the cars.
Yeah.
You have to chisel it off.
Gregory says I was at that Kiss concert that same year at Maple Leaf Gardens.
No way.
Yeah.
So he's my age, or he was older.
Yeah, I don't know how old he is, but
I was 12.
My little Bryce Cubes.
Tell him I had to give up my whole box of comic books, superhero comic books, just to get that one ticket.
One ticket? Can you hear that? What do you mean by that? Are you talking about like the tinny sound, Laura? Like so, like when you push on steel, like if it kind of like if I were to
when you close the door?
like squeeze this, right? It's got flex to it. When you close the door, it makes like a the Mopars are the worst.
Close the best.
Yeah. Just the sound of like how solid like the Ford sound when they close the door.
You ready?
Yeah, it sounds solid, yeah. Whereas I think the Mopars are a little clunky is a good term.
Doesn't matter how lined up it is.
But actually, you know what? Pete and Tony's Coronet that they brought over, that closed nice. But that also had a weird mechanism. Remember that? It had that gear mechanism. Yeah, that closed pretty good. I'm 60. I had to catch chickens for the Kiss tickets. That's great.
I'm 59 this
He's
year.
59 this year. So yeah, he's right there. What's your dad's dream car and favorite of our cars? So our cars is his Mach 1. And dream car.
I just love muscle cars, so I'm not going to start getting into any exotics like a Cobra or anything, or a Ford GT but
if you can only have one,
I would just stick with my Mach 1 and be happy.
It's just a Mach 1.
Bury me with it.
Yeah.
Actually, it deserves to be buried, that car.
Yeah, that car's a pain in the ass.
The freaking crap it's run me through, and I still hang on to her. It's like a bad girl.
Oh, thanks for the donation. Much appreciated. Have a lifter of fuel on me, bud. Or liter. Why'd I say lifter? A liter of fuel on me, bud. I appreciate it. Gas is not that expensive yet, but I think a liter. What's a liter now? Regular. $1.48, yeah, Canadian. I mean, it got almost close to $2 at one time.
No.
It was $1.
60. 160.
Nah.
I've never seen 170.
I know in BC, it hit $2.
Yeah.
Which is
We're not in
crazy.
BC.
Which is crazy. But I appreciate the donation, and I will definitely put some gas in the PT Cruiser. Close the door on that Era Mopar, and it sounds like a beer can. Very true.
I think it's
Although,
the
yeah.
I think it's the muscle cars, like the late 60s,
What's that?
60s and 70s that have that crappy door feel.
Yeah, like the Challenger we had was,
Yeah.
oh my, horrendous.
Every Challenger's been like that. I drove to high school in my one of my best friend's cars.
Yeah, so Bryce, you're gonna need to modify your door latch. Put some Ford latches in there, and it'll close nice.
Retrofit some Coronet stuff in there.
I would not know. I have never heard of.
Good night, Hollywood.
Pops is going to bed. He's gonna go watch some hockey. So Canadian.
There's so much of diners, drive-ins, and dives I can watch.
Yeah. Well, that's got a 60. Is it 67 or 68 Camaro? 68 Camaro on that. Diners, drive-in, and dives. What's that?
He's in a black 66 Corvette convertible with side pipes.
Nice.
And the turbine rims.
Right on.
Black, beautiful.
Cool. Nothing clunkier than a 74 El Camino. I don't know. I wouldn't know.
74. That's the changeover year. Isn't it? 73. It was
still
71
nice.
to 73, I believe, is the same.
It's $1.80 in BC now. Oof. For regular? What's up here? It's $3.29 a gallon in US. Is that US dollars? I'd love to build a Cobra, but at 6'3", size 13 feet, fitting inside might be tough. Heel and toe downshifting, no problem though. Yeah, it's that's the foot compartment on those things is it's so tight. There's no chance. Go Bruins. Don't you start with the Bruins. Traumatized for like 4 years as a Leaf fan. Yeah, so US 329 US. I don't know. Somebody do the math. So $1. What did I say? $1.40. If I knew the live wasn't gonna cut out, if I do $1.40 times 3.785, I think is the liters to gallon. And then do the whole math of the conversion and you'll figure out what we pay per liter. Yeah, but what's it? 2.7 liters to it? No, it's 3.785 liters per gallon. Can I pop so much for rock and roll all night and party every day, eh? So true. 180 in BC for regular, and diesel is even more. Yeah, like diesel here is $2 and something still. My Coronet's doors sound like you slammed a bucket of nuts into a grain bin. Did you say something? Ah! Hey, Mare! Hi, Mom. Come here. This is my cat, America. Come here. Come here. Okay, just stay over there. A bucket of nuts into a grain bin filled with marbles. Bryce. Come here. Hi, Bumba. Hi, Bumba. Good night. I'm surprised no one's asked why my cat is called America. I went to watch the Kermit episodes and subscribed to Bryce's channel. Kermit is about the same shape as my 73 Mach 1. So then you go. You should restore your 73 Mach 1. If Bryce is doing it, you can do it. or you should do it. That doesn't sound right. Diesel is $5 US. Exactly, Bryce. So Canada more than us now, 360 a gallon here. Yeah, it's like every time I go to the States gas, like when I was on Power Tour, I was filling up on premium because it was cheaper than our regular, even after the exchange. And you folks buy that stuff by the quart plus of it. It's funny because we sell our gasoline to places and then buy it back because that's our stupid government for you. Sorry, I'm just petting my cat. Come up. You guys build some cool stuff, but no expert. I drive a 2002 Tundra. Like us on the channel or like Canada? Because Canada, like we build. I used to work at the Dodge or Chrysler plant or whatever you want to call it. We used to build the 300s, the Chargers, and the Challengers, which would include like all the Demons and the Hellcats and the all that stuff. And I mean, the Camaro used to be built pretty local to us. And what else is built up here? I know the Camaro got shipped out, but thank you, us and DeBoss Garage. Yeah, DeBoss built some pretty cool stuff, and I mean, we're just getting started in terms of like crazy builds. After the Fairlane, there should be a pretty fun build. So, have you met any other Canadian YouTubers? Yep. So DeBoss Garage is a Canadian YouTuber. Who else would I know that's Canadian? Why do I feel like I'm blanking here? I feel like there's more. There's definitely more. I'm just not cluing in right now. Do I know Jacob Davis? Of course I know Jacob Davis. Yeah, no, I was went on Power Tour with Jacob and MPMC. We all split a room. We're 5. This sounds terrible, but there's 5 of us in one room: Bryce, me, Dylan, Jacob, and Kale. And we split a room in there. Yes, Andrew. Yes, Andrew. He's in BC, so I mean, in terms of working with Andrew is a little difficult. I need a stool over here with this cord, or I need to move. Hold on. I only got 1%. How is this possible? YouTube just draining the batteries. But yeah, he's over in BC. Oh yes, Double D Speed Shop. He's I forget where he is. Saskatchewan, I think, Manitoba. Yeah, met him on Power Tour the first time. Ended up going with them and Vice Grip Garage, Derek. We all went to dinner together, which was great. Who else? So Andrew, he's ridiculous on Instagram and I think on YouTube as well. Who else? Winnipeg. That's right. There's that Nick's Garage who's in Quebec. I haven't really spoken with them, but like I've seen their cars at the car show that's happening in March. So last year I saw their cars there. I'm blanking so hard on Canadian YouTubers right now, but sorry, I'm just catching up here. Hi, mate. Watching from Australia on a sunny Sunday afternoon. Love watching your channel. I appreciate it. That's so cool. Like just thinking about people watching me from all over the world and just tuning in to see some cool old cars and us wrenching. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Have you met Double D Speed Shop? Yeah, so met them on Power Tour. We have a cool barn or two around here. Right on. What are you working on? Curious. Eugene, is that right? Eugene's Backyard Repair. Nothing worse than people just letting their muscle cars just rot away in their yard. 69 GTO around the corner, sitting for 30 plus years. Yeah, that's unfortunate. What's up, Bum Bum? Well, come up here. Come here. Oh. So yeah, I mean, there's some cars that I know about that are sitting, and look, I got a cat on my back. Hi, hello. But yeah, there's definitely some cars that I know that are sitting, and I wish I could save them, but the owners don't want to sell them. So it is what it is, unfortunately. And cat hair. The downside of that, do not eat my pie. The downside of that is, unfortunately, the day will come where they pass away, or the car just completely rots into the ground, and then someone ends up buying it for stupid cheap. So, yeah, it's a waste. People don't. But I understand, like, it's their memory, so they don't want to sell it. Picturing that car gone out of the yard is pretty bad. What else? Hey, little kitty. Yeah. Sorry for the mess. But winter peg. That's funny. Yeah, I can only imagine the weather there right now. Everyone have a good night. Everyone have a good eve and weekend. Night to all. Same to you, William. Down street, brand new factory lifted. Down street, brand new factory. Lifted 85 K5, no miles. Son hated it. Oh, down the street. Wow. So, like, what? It's just sitting there? Would you want to do a drag and drive? Absolutely. So, yeah. So there's some plans that we're trying to come into fruition. Yeah. Drag and drive for sure. That's definitely in the books. Probably not this year, maybe next year, but definitely working towards it. Fixing an 85 Suzuki LT50 quad. Cool. I used to ride. I used to ride a DS80 dirt bike. The cat's name is America. So long story short, we smuggled her from the States. She was a stray cat while my parents and my sister were down in Kentucky for a horse show. She was walking around the parking lot, and my parents ended up like snatching her and brought her into the hotel room and de-fleed her, and just the cat loved us and we loved it, so ended up taking her home. Yeah, so we called her America for a couple of reasons. Mare, like a horse, and then America because we took her from the States. My channel's very small. That's all right. Hey, man, we all started somewhere, and you got to start small before you get big. So I'll definitely have to check it out. Bryce, you should try to buy your dart back. Yes, Bryce, get on that. And then also let me know about that other car. Enjoy your videos watching from Glencoe, Oklahoma. Did I pronounce that right? I appreciate it. Thank you, Nick. Thank you for tuning in and watching the stuff. I plan to. Good job. Good man. What year is that? 70? 70, Bryce? Is it a 70 dart? Yep. Sitting in a lean-to, passing time. That's a shame. Just returned from a nice cruise in my 351 Cleveland-powered Aussie Ford Falcon. Do you have many Cleveland V8s in Canada? First of all, I love those Falcons you guys have over there. Sorry, there's quite a few, right? Falcons, like there's is it the Falcon, the XBs or whatever they're called? I love those styles. Or is it like there? Because I know you have the four-door Falcons as well with the shaker hoods. Those are pretty cool. I'm not too familiar with the Aussie stuff, but yeah, I mean, in terms of Cleveland's, we have one in the shop over there, up along the wall. One or two? One. We have three Windsors there, and the rest are 302s. But yeah, dad's Mustang is a 70 dressed as a 69. So it has a 351 Cleveland 4-barrel FMX transmission, factory AC. I don't know why. Factory AC car. What time is it in Canada? That's a good question. It's 12 o'clock almost. Father died, son gone, property resold. So the new owners have it? I'll hit you up on Instagram messages with video of Blazer. It'll break your heart. Sounds good. 70 Dart, 225 Leaning Tower of Power was his first car. Just purchased the lead front drum to disc conversion. Looking forward to doing it. What's that going on again, Mike? I remember you telling me earlier the car you were working on, but it's blanked my mind now. Oh, the 71 Mach 1. Correct. Right. Awesome. Yeah, you'll love the kit. It's literally everything and anything you need for it, for the car, like to convert it. Did you say power? Oh, you didn't say. Power or manual? Yeah, it's great. I honestly done it on the 65 Fastback. We did it on the Comet. The 65 Fastback's got 4-wheel disc power. The 65 Comet, we went front disc, rear drum, manual. And then I'm going to be doing 4-wheel disc manual on the Fairlane. So we'll see how that is. Right on. Yeah, you'll like it, especially if you've been driving the Mustang with the 4-wheel drums. Like just the difference between going from drums, 4-wheel drums to front discs is night and day. You'll be like, why did I wait so long? But yeah, did you go with any like powder coated anything or just the standard zinc on the calipers? Mine is an 81 Ford Falcon XBs. XBs were around 74 and XYs, GTHOs with the shakers were about 71. Ford Australia discontinued, Cleveland powered V8s in 83. Wow. Checking out. Great live show tonight, Mike's. Thanks. Appreciate you for tuning in. Have a good night. And it's been a while since I've done this. So I thought I'd tune in while I was working away in the shop, grinding on that Fairlane part. And it turned out great. I appreciate everyone who's come here. Mike, what's your dream car? I mentioned it earlier. It's if I could only have one car. If you're talking about just the car and not like an engine, I would still choose a 69 Mustang. Like if we're just talking about you can only have a base model car, 69 Mustang Fastback. If it was like, oh, what model or what engine, then it would be like Boss 429. 69 Raven Black, Boss 429. Check. Happy forever. Are you guys going to head out west this year? Don't say that. Don't get me started, Bryce. Are you going to head out west this year? Um, in terms of west, what do you mean by west? I might be back in California if somebody would hurry up and talk to a guy for me. uh, yeah, what is west? Just a standard zinc, probably spray the calipers and master cylinder before installation. To be honest, the fastback is the zinc on the calipers, and it's held up fine. Definitely paint the master because they are raw. So yeah, definitely paint the master. There's snow. Snow. Yes, we have a secret. Western Canada? Probably not. You know what? I should do a trip. Maybe if the plan goes as planned, maybe I'll shoot up north. Go see Andrew, shoot out into BC and head out that way and scoot along Canada side. I don't know. It's just like I love the States. Like I love being in the States. I love the weather. I just I don't know. I feel like if I'm gonna go west, it's gonna be in the States. I don't know. I've never been to BC. Actually, I've never been outside of. Sorry, that's a lie. I've been outside of Ontario. I've been into Quebec briefly, and yeah, that's about it. Never traveled outside of Ontario. Other than that, in terms of like vacation or checking out Canada, haven't done it. States, been to like probably 15 states, I would have to say. Yes, Dylan's new Ford truck. That thing is pretty cool. 4x4. I think it's a 78, I think it was. Yeah, I definitely saw it. It's a really cool truck. I want a Ford truck. Or I want a truck. I don't know. If It's hard to say. If I found a solid like OBS truck, I'd be pretty happy. Did a road trip to Toronto with the family nearly 20 years ago. Beautiful place. Yeah, it's not bad. Like I don't know, I've never seen BC, but like every photo I've seen of BC is absolutely gorgeous. Whereas like the central provinces are like straight. I like trees and mountains and stuff like that, so um, I think I would like BC. But it's also expensive over there too. Kevin has a few trucks. Yes, Kevin has a few trucks, and the OBS truck that they just picked up, him and Mook. Slightly jealous. I like it. I really want it. Actually, we were talking about a long time ago about me buying one of his. I think it was a flatbed. One of those flatbed trucks that he had. I was gonna buy one of those, but it never panned out. Never did it. What's up? What? Okay, I'll come down. Oh, my knees crunch. Hi. But yeah, that's basically all that's been going on. Um, lots of work to do, and a few shows we're going to. We're definitely hitting up Power Tour. Hopefully going to Columbus Good Guys. What else? We have Holly Mo Party, or not Mo Party. We're going to Ford Fest. I don't think I'll do Mo Party this year. I will do Ford Fest, which is end of September going into October. So I plan on being there with a couple of cars. What else are we doing? I'd like to do either SEMA or PRI again. That was pretty good shows. Is Canada as cold as everyone says? Well, what do you consider as cold? Because like Iowa gets pretty cold. Like I talk with Kevin quite a bit, and he has some colder weather than Canada does. But then again, I'm in Toronto, so I wouldn't say Toronto's as cold as like other places. Like Winnipeg gets cold, Edmonton cold. Like I shouldn't say Edmonton, but you know what I mean. Like those central provinces are pretty cold. But any new merchandise from you guys? I mean, we brought out hats. I'd never had hats for the longest time, so I do have hats now. I'm not wearing one, but I do have the toques or the winter hats. That is my leg you're clawing there. Ouch. And then I also brought in like snapbacks, like the trucker hats and snapbacks, which I have both of those, and those both turned out pretty well. And then just like the old car channel merch, and I have stickers and stuff like that. So it's all on the website. Plans for the sorry. Love your videos. Here's for some shiny parts or cold snacks. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much for the donation. Mad Dog 332. Stop clawing my leg. You're something else. Yeah, the bullnose Ford trucks. Oh, it's just I want one. That's 78 and 79, I think. Or no, sorry. What was bullnose considered? Because I always get those mixed up. Freaking cat hair everywhere now. But yeah, in terms of the website, just the old www.theoldcarchannel.com should pull up all the merch. Once you go into the merch, it'll take you to like a separate page, and that's all our merch on there. Are you a fan of Rust Valley Restorers? I like the comedy of the show. I don't think their work's the best, but I don't want to start knocking other people's work. But born and raised in Fort Worth, Texas, live just south of Fort Worth now in Alvarado, Texas. The summer heat sucks. Well, let me put it this way. Would you rather freeze to death or would you rather sweat? I would rather be sweating and like hop in an ocean or hop in a pool and cool off than have to like bundle up and try and keep myself warm. So I would take the heat every day of the week. Plans for the Firebird, keeping those hush hush for now. We do have some plans in the works, but I don't want to say just yet. 80 to 86. Oh, yes. Okay, so I know that, Jen. Yep. I love the OBS, like the 90s. I think it was like a 93, like is just a good year. But I also love the 79 and 78. I think it was the 2 years with the round headlights and then the square headlights or rectangle headlights. I love all trucks. If one was solid and good price, I would probably buy one. Sent K5 video to your Instagram. Okay, I'll check it out once we're done with the live stream. Like 85 somewhere that year. The Boss Garage would be out of his mind over it. Summer heat sucks, except when it's 14 degrees out. Exactly. See, now that makes sense, right? 90 degrees is way better than 9 degrees. You're damn right it is. That's why we try to escape as much as we can and get to the sunny south every chance we get. Like, was in Florida for 3 weeks with the girlfriend, and we were just enjoying the summer heat or winter heat. Is that right? Winter heat for Canada or for Florida, which was like in the although we got some cold weather there for a little bit around Christmas time. There was like a cold frost thing probably happened because we were there. Um, I think OBS is just like the old body style, so they call it old body style for Chevy and Fords. I don't think it's just Chev. 30 today, 50 tomorrow, 5 to 8 inches of snow Monday in New York. Nope. See, like, why do we live here? Why do we live here? Can't take enough clothes off in summer, and no one wants to see that. I was in Texas in 2017, I think it was, with Kevin, and we were there in November, which is your Thanksgiving. And I don't know, I guess I've never experienced the Texas summer. So, I mean, like, we get hot and humid weather here too, which again, like, when it's happening, it sucks, but, like, I also always constantly think about the winter and how bad the winter is when we have it. So, I don't know. My mind is always like that now, where I don't think it's um, I don't think like the hot, humid weather is as bad as most people think it is, like in comparison to the cold, like thinking of that stuff. Down in connection. This was 50 yesterday, now 30 in snow. Yeah, like today, I can't pull it up, but today was pretty cold. I'd have to say probably in the 30s. No, 30 is for you guys. 32 is 0 for us. No, it was colder than that. It was in the minuses for us. Probably like -5. I'm not sure what that is, like 20, 24. But anyways, guys, I think it's snowing everywhere right now. It's snowing in BC too. It was snowing earlier today. Like in the morning it was snowing. But it cleared up. And then I don't think it's snowing now. I could be wrong, but there's like a foot of snow on the cars that we didn't clean. -10 degrees Celsius is as cold as it gets in my area of Australia, but we regularly see 42 degrees Celsius. Woohoo! 108 degrees Fahrenheit in the summer. So when we were in Arizona, it was 114 degrees, and that was in May, and it wasn't bad. Like, again, everyone's like, "Oh my god, it's like so hot." It's dry. It's dry heat, so it was not as bad. Like, it was hot. Don't get me wrong, but I could still see myself enjoying it. Like, but yeah, I don't know how Arizona or Australia's weather is. Is it humid or is it dry? At least you have a heated garage. Mine only heated if I breathe. I mean, this wasn't heated for the longest time. Like, we just did the insulation probably like 4 years ago, or I did the insulation about 4 years ago. I just started drywalling some spots and vapor barrieing some stuff, but it wasn't heated for the longest time. Heck, we had 1, 2, 3, 4 cars in here at one time, and like now it could hold like close to it'll hold 10 packed, but then you can't work. So, but now we have 2, 4, 6 cars in the shop right now. We had 7, but we kind of keep this bay open when we usually put this stuff in the trailer, but we have winter for 2 weeks in February, then pre-summer, then summer, then post. Hey, I'll take it. If that's how Canada was, like if it was like, hey, you're gonna get winter for I don't know, let's like even say a month. If they're like, yeah, you're gonna get a crappy winter for a month, and then the rest is like, hey, you're gonna start warming up and get back into the summer, I probably wouldn't want to move. Like, it wouldn't be that bad. But the fact that we had like 6 months of winter, usually like December, like November, we put the cars away. November, December, January, February, March, April. We bring the cars out like May, early May. So that's 6 months of not doing anything besides working in the shop. Yeah, I'm not big into the whole destroying stuff, but I think one of our builds coming up is going to hurt a few people's feelings, but I mean, hurt feelings over destruction of classic cars is different. Although I'm sure you're referencing like Whistling Diesel, and the truck he destroyed was actually pretty bad. Um, so, but yeah, I get what you mean. Man, did you see Cam Racing Garage? He is roofing it, but it works. Oh, roughing it. Yeah, he's in a storage unit. I mean, he's doing some killer work for a storage unit. I wish that place had some heat for him. Like he's toughing it out this winter. But he's making killer progress on that Charger. And I think he just got a second unit. So he's going to bring his Duster back, which is awesome. So he gets to drive that when he wants, and he's got the, I don't know, I forget if it's a K series truck or if it's a C10, I forget, but he's got the truck as well. Yeah, man, he's doing good. Like building that Charger is going to be so sick. I've seen some renderings of it. I can't wait. Went to Afghanistan in 2010, 2011, and it was at the hottest 135 Fahrenheit. Freaking brutal. Oh my god. And then it gets cold at night too, right? Hoping to get my 55 International R100 blasted. R100? What's an R100? Sandblasted and painted soon. Being too cold, and now the weather is warming up in the 70s. Just need some time off work right now. About 65% humidity today. Southeast Australia. Northern areas get all the humidity. Right on. But after this, I'm gonna probably call it a night. Probably go edit for a couple hours because that's the life of a YouTuber. Guy by girlfriends got a C10 fully primed and covered now. Uncovered. He gave up. Shame. I'm having internet issues. I'm glad you young guns are keeping these cars going and keeping hot rodding alive. Yep. I'm gonna try for as long as we can. We'll see what happens with this whole government crap. But I think his battery died. I think his phone died again. Yeah, we're back, but it's Mike, not you. Yep. Help me understand this. Price of Wi-Fi must be high there. Oh God. Yeah. Now I'm back, but sorry about that. A moose took his internet. Took out his internet in Canada. Good night to everyone who signed out. Oh well, it was awesome hanging out with you. Talk to you later, bud. The string broke. Yeah, thanks, Bryce. Yeah, his phone runs off maple syrup. Yep. Yeah, the maple syrup froze, exactly. Yeah, the cat. Yeah, it's just the cat killed me. Yep. But anyways, guys, it was fun chatting. We'll have to do this more often. And definitely keep in touch. Check out the builds. I guess the current state of the builds. Whereas I guess the YouTube is slightly behind. I still have lots of content, older content that I still want to share with you guys. So there will be some times where you'll see like the driveways not concrete anymore, and or whatever. All the cars in the shop are different. So when you see that, oh, this guy's just typing W's. So when you see that, don't be like, oh, what's going on? Like, I thought you sold this car. This is Gas Monkey Garage where you have cars that are sold, but they're not really sold. No, it's not that. It's just old content that I haven't got around to actually editing and putting into a video and creating a video. So, other than that, thank you for keeping in touch and staying tuned with the YouTube. Maybe I'll hop on live on my channel. I was actually going to text you and say, did you want to do a live together? I probably should have, because that would have been really fun, actually. Next time we do this, we should do it live, so it'll like split screen. Actually, we should do a live with everyone. Just pull everyone together and do a live. Thank you, thank you. MMXO Gaming, thank you for being a fan. Much appreciate it. Bryce, are you like going live right now? I guess like what time is it there? Oh, it's only like 9 o'clock. Thanks for tuning in. Redneck Rider 69. Solid name. Thank you, Glenn. Much appreciate it. Si, senor. All right, well, I'll tune into your live while I clean my shop. Unless you want to go live together. I don't care. I'll probably be up for another couple hours anyways. It's the weekend. I could probably add you, actually. Maybe not. Do you want to do that? What's this maybe I'll meet you at Hot Rod Power Tour? It's already sounding like you're backing out of putting that engine in that truck. We're going to see each other, all right? We'll make it a commitment. All right, so I'll end this live and then maybe start a new one with you. I don't know. I've never done it before. Actually, I think I've done it once with Kevin. But he set it up. Let me see. Let me see if I can figure this out. All right, guys. I'm going to sign out of this one. Try and figure out how the heck we're doing this. Are you friends with Junkyard Diggs? Yeah, Kevin's my brother. Brother from another mother. Yeah, no, we've been friends since like 2015, before he did like YouTube. All right, so yeah, we're gonna sign out and try and figure out this other thing that we're gonna hook Bryce up to, and he can show you his car that he's working on, and go from there. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Hop onto that live if you want.